surprise shone light from distant northern skies. At that point, I realized I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's okay. This is all an illusion, and I'm willing to play.
Welcome to the Quantum Guide Show, interviews with awakened masters as they share their quantum work with you. The Quantum Guide Show is produced by Karen Holton, creator of the 9 Steps to Quantum Health Transformation, a free 9-step online course to give you the tips and resources you need to thrive. Karen lost and continues to keep off 178 pounds of surplus body weight as she made her dreams come true. Whether you are awakening to the ascension process or simply want a wiser, more efficient lifestyle, this program is for you. No strings attached. The Quantum Guide Show is brought to you in part by Zendome's Orgonite, Karen's unique brand of orgone generators, ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. Find out how orgone generators work and what they can do for you. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out Karen's current selection, only available from her website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, and on Facebook, facebook.com/Quantum Health Transformation. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Quantum Guide Show. Today in episode 40, I would like to introduce you to Kavi Shakti. She is trained in Kavitha and Official, and she was a professor at Bangalore University. She holds a master's degree in psychology and specialized in psychological guidance and counseling, as well as psychotherapy, before becoming a spiritual psychotherapist. Since 2002, Kavi began following Amma Bhagwan of Oneness University and was an active part of it. This is when her spiritual journey, initiation, and mystical experiences began, as she started giving spiritual discourses to hundreds and thousands of people in Kerala. Kavi began miraculously healing hundreds of people, conducting satsangs and mass prayers during the weekends. Kavi was also initiated in Reiki by Grand Master and Spiritual Guru, Dr. Ashok Kumar, in 2006. Kavi had a spiritual awakening in 2017 after a near-death experience where her healing powers became enhanced, and as she experienced extreme conscious awareness and expansion, gaining more spiritual wisdom and knowledge. She began healing people from all over the world at multi-level and multi-dimensional levels. She has experience in activating the chakras, Kundalini raising, awakening, energy healing, cleansing, and clearing, as well as karma theory, past life regression and healing, inner child healing, karma clearance, cord cutting, and forgiveness rituals. Kavi initiates people with Reiki and Shiva-Shakti initiations to access the higher dimensional cosmic channel, and thousands of people worldwide have benefited as a result. She is a chakra activation coach, a Reiki Grand Master, and she assists with training for awakening and third eye activation. Kavi is a master energy healer, and she helps people with past life issues, inner child, and trauma care. On a personal note, I discovered Kavi Shakti on Facebook and have enjoyed several of her inspiring live streams. Check out Kavi's podcasts on social media and be sure to check out her website, and the links will be in the description box below. Welcome, Kavi. How are you, my new friend?
Thank you so much for hosting this, and deciding to have me as your guest. And I'm very fine. Thank you. I hope you're good too. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone.
Oh, wonderful. I was thinking that perhaps we could start with some of your history in your own words and how you began to recognize the importance of a spiritual life.
From childhood, my grandfather used to conduct bhajans at home, satsang and all that. That is my maternal. And my mother was a very religious person, and she used to train. She already trained me as a child. She trained me into these things. And when I began my religious rituals, and whenever I used to do all these things, I used to close my eyes and set out my prayers. Usually, like as children, it was always to get good marks and fare well. And that was the only prayers we used to have. And we didn't have any other problems at that time. So whenever I used to close my eyes, I used to have visions of several gods and goddesses and all that. And as a child, I thought it would be my imagination, but still there was a part of me which believed that, yes, this is true. And I used to speak to them. So even as a child, like I was educated in a Christian convent, wherein I used to attend even those mass prayers and all those sessions over there. And even there, I understood that there was no disparity in God. And when I went there and closed my eyes, I used to it was St. Mary's Convent where I studied. They used to offer prayers to Mother Mary. And I used to see her. And sometimes I used to see infant Jesus as well as Jesus. So then I understood that God is not biased with any religion or something. You connect with them in any form and they will come and connect with us, and they will definitely help us.
Oh, that's wonderful. I agree with you. I have studied many religions, and I have a copy of the Quran, of the Bible, and pardon me for not saying this right. I always get my tongue twisted around the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, and I find that spirituality is there for everybody, regardless of what religion we're in. And I think the focal point really is to love each other and care for each other. I think that's why we're here, but mankind has really lost its purpose, hasn't it? Yeah. So I'm very grateful for you. And
that's what I believe in.
Sorry, go ahead.
I personally, when I connected with different types of gods, goddesses, not only from the earth where people connect with, but also some galactic beings, when I go into the higher dimensional quantum connections and all that. So wherever, whether it is galactic divine beings or those whom we connect here on earth and believe their presence here also, or any gurus, the message I get is the same. Living in love, forgiving. Yeah, living in love, compassion, and forgiveness.
Yeah. And what a beautiful world it would be if we just tried to do that.
Yes, of course.
I noticed in your biography, I checked it on the website, that you started with studying botany and other sciences, and you even went on to teach these at different colleges and universities. But when and how in that did you sort of pivot to become a spiritual teacher?
Actually, just being a religious girl and into my family, I lost my mother when I was 23 years old. And soon after that, within 5 years, I lost even my father, whom I loved the most. He was the best father I think the world could have ever given for me. So I loved my parents so much, and I always felt that they would never leave me. That was the belief I had from my childhood, and their loss was very intense for me, especially after my mother went. My father was always there for me. And then when he was gone, I almost like traumatized with his loss. And it was at that time, one of my neighbors, she said, why don't you just come along with me to a certain place where they conduct mass prayer? Maybe you will feel a little peace of mind. Maybe you will be able to take over the burden of the loss of your father. And then I started going there, and I had various mystical experiences each and every time I went there, and I started attending. I don't know, whatever discourses were going, I was consciously present there. And after some time, the energies were so high. And when I closed my eyes and sat there, I had several mystical experiences and all that. And I used to have, it was satsang carried out in the name of Amma Bhagwan. And I used to have the presence and conversation of Bhagwan with me and all that. And several mystical experiences began. And it was at that time I said, oh my God, am I chosen for something? I didn't even realize that they love me so much. And that's how it began. That's how it began.
So it really began in love then, didn't it? With love and in love.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's a shocking thing. It's a shocking thing to lose our parents. I didn't lose mine until, about 10 years ago, but here I was an orphan. And I was acutely aware of the change in the connection. To have them here, I kind of took it for granted. And it wasn't until they were gone that I noticed something huge was missing, not just from my mind, but from my physical body, from my spiritual body. Do you have anything you want to say to that?
Initially, I felt the same because I was in my materialistic life and 3D life completely. And I was missing them at the physical level in every way, like physically, morally, and securely. Like my father was a sense of security for any girl. That's what he is. And my mother was an icon of love. And so I began missing all those things. And then afterwards, when I started having this mystical experiences, and somehow miraculously, I should say it would be the grace of God that he bestowed all his love and compassion towards me, that he began helping me to connect with all the divine. And it was at that time I could also make connections with my parents in the 4th dimension. And then I felt, oh my God, they have not gone, or they have just left their physical body, but they are still there, so connected, and they shall always be there.
Oh, wonderful. I think people need to hear this, because there's everything is very, at least in my society, very fear driven. And if people could only know that they can relax. So I'm guessing that the inspiration for you to make the shift in your life was finding out that the love from your parents was real, and that they were still approachable and still there, just not there in a corruptible physical body. Am I saying that right, Kavi?
Yeah, of course, physical body has its own limitation, and one day everyone born on the earth have to leave it, because the physical body is not infinite. But our etheric body, or our soul, the spirit within us, is a part of God, and it shall always remain, and it can always choose to connect with everyone.
Well,
that is.
Go ahead.
And that is how we can make connections with everyone. When we listen and awaken to a point where we go beyond the time and space, we can connect with everyone. Now when I'm healing people always say, Kavi, I felt a presence just next to me, or they would have felt my touch, or they would have felt my presence. And some people who have clairvoyant abilities, they're able to even see my etheric body just right next to them. And it sends sense of security and that happiness and that calmness and fearlessness, and brings them bravery and courage. So that's why I say everyone have this potential. They have the potential to project to other person. And although we are separated thousands of kilometers away, you and me, we are connecting here through this social media or through this devices. But ethically speaking, we can always connect with anyone in any part of the world. Just be there. It's possible.
Oh, I agree with you. And I've through social media, I have made friends all over the world, and it's sort of a heart-to-heart connection. I definitely feel the connection, and every new person that I meet is just, I don't know, I'm open to just keeping them in my heart as my friend. It's just such a wonderful gift, and what a relief compared to the alternative, which in my society is just very fear-driven. People are so anxious, they're so distressed, and that is partly why I created the show, was to bring on other people to show the world this is possible for us, all of us. We can all unite in love. What an incredible, precious thing that is.
We cannot we cannot say anything to these people who are fear driven, because the society is made up like that. And religious, if they are religious, our religious institution itself creates a concept of fear driven God. So religion itself is based on fear. Okay, you don't do this, this will happen. God will punish you. God will do this, God will do that. No, with my connection with God, I feel from my heart, I connect with from my heart. They don't judge us. They never question us what we did and what we didn't do. If there is something which is questioning us, it is our own inner consciousness. We ourselves have our own heart and soul which is ruling us. When every person is doing something bad, there is some inner consciousness, that the supreme consciousness, which always question us. Of course, they can get away from the law, they can get away from the people, they can get away from the society, but they can never get away from their own supreme consciousness, which keeps on questioning them. They can't escape this. So I don't believe in fear induction in the name of religion and fear-based religion and all that. If you feel like connecting with God, you can connect. And sometimes you may be so frustrated in your 3D life, and you may encounter so many problems and you don't feel like connection. Then God doesn't judge us and they say, okay, why didn't you connect to me today? I'm going to punish you. No, that is not God. This is never a concept of God, but the way people build the concept of God is totally wrong. Yeah, almost in every religion, they misuse this and they build kind of fear factor in the name of religion and God, which is totally wrong. God is just love and compassion. And always God is there to help us. We have done a lot of mistakes in past lives. We have done a lot of mistakes even in this life, consciously or unconsciously. And God never questioned us. On the other hand, we are facing the consequences or repercussions of all the mistakes we have done and committed. And therefore, God is there to help us, to say it's okay. It's okay. If you're born as a human, it's okay that you could commit some mistakes. You could sin. It's okay. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to just pat you and say, it's okay. I'm there for you. But see to it that you consciously don't commit any mistake in future.
Exactly. You know, one of the live streams I watched that you were doing, you talked about forgiveness. And in what I find in myself and is common is we were raised in very shame-based religion, like you were mentioning before. It was not love-based. And we were told everything was our fault. Even as children, everything was our fault.
And so a big problem is people forgiving themselves and letting it go. And it seems like even myself, you know, a mistake I had made, or something I did in ignorance or out of extreme stress or whatever, you know, it's almost like it's like we've been trained to punish ourselves by staying in a state of shame and a state of fear and a state of not being good enough. And then we don't actually come into our full potential. And you said some wonderful words of wisdom to me. You said, but Karen, it's the total of your life. You cannot narrow it down to 1 or 2 events or even 100 events in your life. It's your total life. You need to look at it in balance. And I thought, wow, you're absolutely right on. Do you want to speak to that? Because I know quite a few people who are going to watch this show will also be struggling with the same thing.
Yeah, thank you so much for pointing out about this. Yes, we are humans, consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly. We may commit certain mistakes as children, even as adults. It doesn't matter. As long as they are doing it out of stress or fear. It's example like an animal, like it doesn't want to bite us. It could be a street dog or it could be a snake. It doesn't want to harm us or it doesn't want to bite us or injure us, but it just does it in order to protect itself. Maybe like it feels fearsome or insecure. In the same way, like we may have multiple emotions due to which we may perform certain actions. And when we do that, like there is, everyone has their own inner consciousness, which says later on that, yeah, like you were not supposed to do it, it's okay. But when all the others just pounce upon us and keep on telling that you did it, you're not supposed to do it, and they just, hammer you down with all that guilt and shame. For a child especially, to come out of that guilt and shame is very difficult. It blocks the sacral center as well as the root chakra as well as the sacral chakra, which will not help them to go about with their normal life when they grow into adults. So the first thing is, before learning to forgive others, please learn to forgive yourself and visit your inner child wherever like these kind of incidents have happened and it is still having an emotional burden upon you. Please visit those moments. Connect with that inner child and say, it's okay. You're just 8 years old. You're just 6 years old. You bet up your sister. Maybe you were 8 years old. You harmed your brother. It's okay. You did not do a sin. Many children of this age would do that to their sibling. It's okay. Now I am an adult, I am mature, and I know it's okay. So just forgive yourself and I forgive you. So this adult self of you should meet that younger child and say, it's okay, and accept and embrace. What I see with these kind of incidents is a part of the soul is separated. And whenever we do this forgiveness ritual, we are just bringing them back, and you call this as, soul retrieval. So the process of soul retrieval is very important in order to completely heal ourselves. There are hundreds and thousands of people who don't even know these things, and they are still like acting out of all these emotions, which are revolving around multiple of these memories which happened in the childhood or during their adolescent age and all that. It's okay, we are humans. We are prone to make mistakes, but that doesn't define any person for that matter. We are just what we are. The moment we realize that, yes, we have done it, and then I can work through it, and we can work through forgiving ourselves, we can come out of it definitely. And then let us embrace that part of us which committed that sin
and promise ourselves, telling that I'm not committing any more of this sin. The day we do the forgiveness ritual, we do it with out of complete love and compassion. And it's the time we decide that we are not going to commit the sin once again. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even in the, in the Western, predominantly Christian beliefs, some people, they believe in forgiveness, but I think there's a certain personal responsibility to stop doing the thing that we want forgiveness for, and even for ourselves. But I don't know, it's complicated, because I think that our potential has been suppressed by the powers that be for so long. And in the beginning, like when I started to reach out into the spiritual realms, I even felt a bit silly, like as if I'm pretending or making it up. But it didn't take long. What I did was I always asked for proof. I was really not trusting, and I kept asking for proof, and I would get it as clear as day. I would get it. And it was a simple thing. I didn't have to be perfect. I didn't have to be in my full glory. All I had to do was ask, and it became so clear, and I couldn't deny it. And after a while, I stopped asking for proof, because it gets to the point where that gets ridiculous. Instead, I wanted to use that connection, again, for healing energy, for getting myself in order. I often, even just on my phone, on Facebook, people that are struggling, I just hold my hand over the phone and send them healing love energy. And it can't hurt. And I do that all the time. And so what happens is these people don't even know I've done it. And I do a lot of that every single day because of compassion. But I think the big thing is that what you're saying, and what I'm agreeing with, is that we don't have to be perfect. We just have to reach out and take that chance. And it's so different than our material world, which I believe is very much shaped by the colonizer. I think even religion is shaped by the colonizer. It's all shaped to benefit the colonizer. Well, colonization, I don't think, was ever even a part of the plan. We're here to be stewards on this planet, to love each other, heal each other, support each other. So I guess I want to ask you too, I get impatient with what's going on in the world, and I'm talking about the negative things that we don't have to get into here. But what advice do you have for people who are feeling impatient, or impatient with their own spirituality, or is it overcoming fear? What is your position on this, Kavi?
Actually, I have been speaking about this pandemic and all these things which are happening right now. I have been speaking about it for the past 5 years on my shows, posting on it, on my Facebook, everywhere, questioning them. And if you're here during this time of chaos, it means that your soul already knew about all these things. That means that when your soul has chosen, and it has chosen, and it said, I'm going to be a warrior over there, and I'm going to be born at this time of chaos, and it chose to be here. That means that the soul has all the strength and courage. That means that that is each one of us, have that courage deep within us. We have the bravery. We have the warriorship. We are all divine warriors. If we remember that we are divine warriors, and then connect with God, connect with the divine in any form, whether you believe in any form, whether you believe in any formless, it doesn't matter. As long as you make this connection, you will be sure this connection is just for you, for each one of you to be sure, to have this confirmation, to have these experiences, and then say, okay, I'm on the right path, and I am definitely guided here from within. And then you will awaken your warrior energies. You will awaken that strength and courage. You will just let go of the fearlessness. And then you can handle whatever is happening. It doesn't actually matter. Nothing matters to the spirit. Spirit doesn't die. Spirit is always there. And let us make this connection, and nothing is going to happen to us. For people who make this connection with the divine, with form, formless, or with the universe, with source, whatever it is, make this connection. Believe in the soul. The soul brought us here, and it developed this physical body. And just connect with the soul, and the fear is gone. The fear is only in the mind. We have lost connection, and we have lost the alignment between the mind, heart, and soul. So bring in that alignment. When the mind comes in alignment with the soul, it starts listening, because now it's totally externalized. It's seeing and looking at everything that's happening outside, and it's totally under fear. It's terrorized. Instead of that, when the mind is focused within, when it connects to the heart, it just feels love and compassion. When it connects to the soul, it understands everything. And then there's no chaos in the mind. No matter whatever is happening outside, they don't get affected.
Wonderful, wonderful advice. I love that so much. I'm just going to check. I have some more people in the waiting room. I just want to make sure I give them all access. And I will trust that they have their microphones muted so that we have the show is uninterrupted there. I just let in a couple more people who wanted to join us. I think that's wonderful. So are you comfortable talking a little bit about your near-death experience and what your experience was in life before, what happened, if you feel like sharing, if it's not too personal, and then how that shifted you more? Because it seems like we go through life, we have different things that facilitate shifts in the spiritual direction. I know for me, boy, I needed to be clobbered so many times with hardship in order to wake up. I don't regret anything because it all brought me to where I am today. And I'm not saying I'm 100% all there either, but you know what I mean? So I'm just curious to know what it was like before, what happened, and then how you shifted after that, if you feel like speaking a bit to that.
Yeah, I don't mind speaking about it. It would be a good example to even other people watching the show, giving this message that awakening is not difficult, it's easy. And making connections is also easy. So like before that, maybe since 2002, I am in the spiritual path. It's beyond religion. And I had several mystical experiences, and it just went on. But I was still in my 3D life, like having my own job, taking care of the family, and want to make lots of money. And if there is prayers, I want more salary, more money, because I want to take care of all the responsibilities, and all the financial stress shouldn't be there, and all these things, you know, like a normal 3D person. And of course, during my weekends, I used to conduct prayer, because I believe that if I could help 2 to 3 people heal, definitely God will bestow more and more love and compassion towards me, and then he would heal me more. I don't have to ask him anything. So it was that belief system. And I also, like, out of love and compassion, whatever positive changes that happen in my life, I thought, let me just try to give that positive change into people's life. And that's what I believed in. And since I was working only during the weekends, I used to go about all these things. And like, it was like I was two-footed. One was in the 3D life, and other one was in the spiritual life. But after this, like, I was working as a vice principal in a certain institution. Then suddenly I had some health issues, and I thought I will just go for a complete health checkup. And they said, like, we suspect you have cancer. You need to go to the cancer hospital for a complete checkup and all those things. And I had all the symptoms. I went to the web and I Googled everything and said, oh my God. And I said, already had established the strong connections with the divine. I already had taken these Reiki initiations from my awesome master. He was a miraculous healer and all that. But by the time he was gone, and he already made me a grandmaster, and therefore it was all these energies which I used in my healings and all that. And now it was time for to heal myself at a very intense way. And therefore now I thought, okay, if God chooses me to be here for a purpose, if my soul has a purpose, I shall be here. Whether I go to the hospital or not, whether I meet the doctors, whether I take the treatment or not, I'm going to be here. And I have more trust and faith in God, because God is the master healer and he is the greatest doctor in the entire universe. So I made my connections over there and I started connecting to God, and I started using all the Reiki symbols, and I started using Reiki, and I started trusting all these energies. And I said, I didn't mind, like death was not fearsome, but undergoing the cancer treatment and all this chemotherapy and radiotherapy, putting all the toxin inside my physical body was not which I actually accepted, and I completely trusted. And I was bedridden. I was bleeding from my nose and mouth. My voice stopped. I couldn't speak anymore because it was on my thyroid and tonsils and all that. And I said, okay, now anyway, I'm lying down in a dead bed. It's okay. Let me just connect with God. And I started chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Lord Shiva is one of the deities in the Hindu religion. And my master was a very strong devotee of Lord Shiva. I wasn't much strong devotee because I was not much of a religious person. And I used to believe in the energies, and I used to directly connect with the cosmic and the universe and the source. But now, like I thought, okay, let me just chant Om Namah Shivaya, to just keep on chanting that. And I would have some pain and all that. And the moment I use Reiki energies and healing myself, the pain would subside, but I wouldn't get sleep, and I would be chanting. And I found myself chanting and in meditation for nearly 18 to 20 hours every day. It so happened there was one day, this is the most beautiful and unforgettable, miraculous experience that happened. One day, I just had, we call it as darshan. That is seeing the direct presence of God. In our Hindu Vedic, we call it as darshan. We had the darshan of Lord Shiva. He just appeared, and I was lying down, and he just appeared right in front of me. It was like he was standing maybe some 8 to 10 feet far away from me, and I was standing right in front of him. He has a blue color skin. Basically, I believe it's from Octress or something, and he usually has trident. Then I was just looking at him and, oh my God, how I have a darshan of Lord Shiva, and that was really amazing for me. And then he just stuck his trident on the ground. He opened his arms and just called me near him for an embrace. I asked, me? Really? Are you calling me to embrace you? He said, yes. He nodded. It was non-verbal communication. It was like I was speaking to him from the mind, and he just nodded. I ran to him like a small child. I went and embraced him, and I just felt that my complete physical body dissolved into his body and became one with his body. And it was that time I heard, I'm inside of him now, and I still feel hear his voice. I feel him stroking my head and all that. And I'm still inside, but still feeling his hand upon my head. And then he said, do you realize that you left your body? I said, now I realize, yes. And he said, I'm here to give you a boon. Just ask me for a boon, whatever you want. I said, Lord, even before asking for enlightenment, even without asking, you just gave me the presence of your feet. And after I left my body, you have just invited me into your kingdom. What more could I ask you? And I don't have anything to ask. All I could ask is, please take care of my daughter. At that time, my daughter was 15 years old. And I said, please take care of my daughter. And I don't ask. And I trust and believe that you will, definitely. And then he said, it's not a time for you to come here. You have a purpose. Now you will go back with a different energy. You will go back as my Shakti. I will come and meet up with you after 5 years in a physical body, in a human form. Until then, I'm going to prepare you for that meeting, for that change in your life. And until then, just go back as my Shakti and call yourself as Shakti. And I asked, I love my parents. My parents named me Kavita. Can I make it as Kavi Shakti? He said yes. And it was from that time onwards, I changed my name as Kavi Shakti. And from that time onwards, it was Lord directly who trained me, guided me into all this past life regression, inner child healing, and living in love, compassion, forgiveness, forgiving our own self, forgiving others, how to do the forgiveness ritual, how to set resentment set rating. He taught me every single thing what I am adapting in my spiritual psychotherapy sessions are all guided and taught by Lord Shiva directly to me. I don't have any other gurus here on earth. Like when I used to go to the ashram, like it was several people, they used to just conduct certain discourses and certain classes for 2 to 3 days for a group. It was a mass class or something like that. I never had a direct guru. And my Reiki master was more of a healer and a religious person. So I never had a guru. So Lord Shiva was my direct guru. And I started having. After that, I learned first, it was focused upon me to heal my own self, all my inner child and all my past and all that. And the only rule was to become the icon of love, forgiving and forgetting everything and thanking everyone, especially those who hurt and pain me a lot. Because it was because of all those things, I entered so much hurt and pain, which made me to connect with God. And I gained the compassion of God because I took all those silent abuses, all those abuses silently.
Sounds so beautiful.
Yes, I have no hard feelings upon anyone who ever hurt me or pain me. I don't even like, whenever I go and visit those memories, I don't have any other emotions. I look at them with compassion. I say, thank you for doing all that you did to me. Thank you. Today, where I am here right now, connected with God, and you helped me this connection happen.
It's beautiful, just beautiful. You know, I always find with my show, I keep it to under 60 minutes because then I can upload it to Odyssey and to other platforms. And the time always goes by so fast. I was wondering if you would like to tell us a bit about some of the things that you offer to people when they go and visit your website. There's some information on there, but is there a message you have for the audience? Is there a way that you see specifically you want to help people, or do you just want to talk about some of your services? This is a time to tell people what you can offer them and where they can find you. And I hope that agrees with you.
Yeah, sure. They can always connect with me on Facebook. They can follow me there and they can follow my posts as well as my live videos over there. I often conduct group meditations where I post the link on Facebook as well as on WhatsApp, and number can be given and it can be shared. I shall share it to you personally, where they can connect with me even on WhatsApp. And these are the two social media I'm active in. And I have my own YouTube channel under Kavi Shakti itself. I can share even that link to you where you can post it in the description box. And apart from that, what I offer is healings and getting away from depression, anxiety. The whole world is right now in a complete chaos. And right now, we're connecting with hundreds and thousands of people. I'm seeing that people are very much abused, hurt, and pained and betrayed. And they have undergone a lot since their childhood. Please connect with me for your inner child healing to get away from all those things. And my healing sessions usually are at a higher dimensional level. I take them into astral projection, and then we look at the past and we see what was the past that happened in the past life that has this particular problem they are undergoing right now. We connect with the past life as well as this life, and it makes them easier to understand why this happened to them. And then we heal the past life and we heal this life, and they just come out so clean. And each and every time I do that, they too feel that a part of the soul has come back to them. They feel that soul retrieval. They feel that high amount of energy boosting that happens after each and every session they have with me. So please connect with me for a complete deeper level healing, where each and every problem you have encountered or encountering right now has a repercussion or a consequence of your past life or the past in this present life itself. Let us work upon it, and let us all transform into icons of love, compassion, and forgiveness. What I really want to give the most important messages each and every time when I say, please forgive the person who is hurting you. I see that they find it very difficult to forgive the other person.
Are people able to connect with you for help on directly on social media? So say if they live in Canada or the United States, would they still be able to connect with you and be able to have sessions with you?
Yes, sure. They can send a friend request, and I already almost have like 4,900 plus people. Even if I can't accept them as my friend, of course, if they just put a connect, like they can connect me on my page, Kavi Meditation Group page, and they can just send a message in one of under my post. They can just comment and say, Kavi, I need your help. I may immediately connect with them on Messenger, and we can have conversations with them, and we'll see how we can connect. Wonderful. So even if I don't know like how far I can accept friend requests because my limitation is over. Therefore, they can just they can comment under my post, and I'll definitely help them.
Yeah. And can they connect with you through your website? You have a contact page on your website too, if they couldn't find you for whatever reason on social media. And I will put the links below. I'll get you after the show to send me, did you say you had a YouTube channel? And I'll put in also the link to your Facebook as well, so people can find you and follow you.
Yes. They can connect me even through my website. Yes.
It's wonderful. It's just so important. It was quite interesting how I found you. You know, this is how the universe or God works in my life. I never know. And then just something happens and I see a post and I go, but this looks interesting. And then I started listening to what you were saying and I went, oh my goodness, this is you are such a gift to the world. And I really want people to know about it. So this will be going up on YouTube and it'll also be going up on Odyssey. And of course, I'll be sharing it with dozens of groups and different social media places, because I really want people to know more about you. And I'm wondering if in the not too far future, you might like to come back and we could talk about some other things too. I want you to feel welcome.
Sure, definitely. It would be a pleasure coming back here. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Even today, being with you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. So it's time to say goodbye. I also want to say thank you to all of your followers who joined us today. Thank you so much for muting and being very quiet in the background. And we will see you all again soon. And I just wish you just much love and much blessings and much energy to keep your work going. And I just know you're helping so many people. I'm so grateful that I found you. And thank you for just being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen, and sending love, light, blessings, and prayers to you and everyone participating and looking at your YouTube channel, those who are right now participating and those who are going to look at it even later on. I send my love and blessings from my heart and soul, and I love you so much, Karen. Thank you so much for all that you are doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much. And you are an awesome gift to the world. Thank you so much. Love you. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us for the Quantum Guide Show. Become the change you wish to see in the world. Subscribe to Karen's YouTube channel, click the like button, and share the show with your friends. Check out Karen's website at KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com. All the links are available in the description box below. Until the next time, keep up the good work.
Splendor in endlessness puts all my inner strife to rest. For time gives birth to hurriedness. It all makes sense, well, more or less. And the sages put me to their test. With heart and soul to do my best to find the answers to my quest. I wonder and I must confess, I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's okay. This is all in